And of course,
I'm sorry, can we just, you're gonna have to cut that part. They asked us that question, they asked us to pray about that before we even came.
oh, right.
So the way that we were introduced to orphan work in Africa was through a ministry called Ontatile, which was started by Joel and Rachel Kirby. And they, not knowing us or our background, asked us, well, you know, will you pray with us that God would provide a contractor, someone who has experience building buildings, and a nurse. And so we just looked at each other and said, sure, we'll pray about that with you.
Right, them not knowing that I'm a contractor and she's
And that I was a nurse. We really didn't give them that information yet. After they had asked us to pray for a contractor and a nurse, we had talked to them a few more times via email and Skyping, and then one day we got an email that said, you know, would you pray about coming in the summer of 2015 so that we can come back for a furlough?
Yeah, and
now, mind you, we don't really even know them, and I'm going, what?
We're
not missionaries.
We haven't been on a survey trip.
We haven't even been there.
Living there 3 months. Yeah.
They don't know us. This is really odd. We'll pray about it, but I don't know. You know, like it was. It was a very interesting request, clearly from God.
There's so many theme verses: Ecclesiastes 12:13 and Psalm 113:3. But one of my life verses as a man leading my family is Proverbs says, "Man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directs his steps." So that's how I try to live my life. That's how I try to lead my family. Lord, I believe we should go this way, but I'm open. If you want to change it, show me, and we'll go the way you want us to go. So we said we'd love to go on this trip, and so we have a 4x8 whiteboard in the dining room of the home we're in, and I made a list. I made a 2 list. I put things that need to happen to go on this trip, and one of them was things God is going to have to do and things Daddy can do, because I really believe that man should do his part. God lots of times assumes that man's going to do something along with him providing. Think of Gideon. They didn't take up swords, but he still told them to go and to have the lights and blow the trumpets, right? Man did something there. And Jericho, God knocked the walls down, but they walked around, they obeyed, they worked, they did something. And so we had that list, and I think there were 2 things on Daddy's side. Daddy can do 2 things, and God's side was 20, 30 plus, basically the whole board.
Yeah.
You know, and over that year and praying with our children, again, if you had to put a word on it, prayer and praising God, everything in the God had to do list was answered. And God answered and said, I want you to go on this 3 months into Africa. So we were able to go, and it's just so great. You know, as a dad, my heart's prayer, my desire is that my children will grow up and know who God is. They'll know that He's real, He's in their life.
At the rising of the sun, the going down of the same, the name of the Lord be praised.